Well, hello and welcome to Phuket Insights. And today I'm joined by Diana, and we're going to hear all about her life here in Phuket and what she has to tell us. Well, Diana, welcome.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, well, that's great. Can you give me the short story then of who you are and what do you do?
I'm Diana, and I opened a dog resort here on Phuket.
Oh, okay, excellent. And where is that?
It's in Talang area.
Talang. Okay. And
Yes.
how long have you been doing that?
For 15 years already.
15 years.
Yes.
Okay, quite some time.
Yes, that's a while.
Okay, I'll ask you some more questions about that in a minute, but perhaps then you can tell me what were you doing before you came to Phuket?
My main job was purchases and sales for many, many years and administrative things. And my like a hobby was dog training and taking care for dogs.
And where was this?
In Germany.
I
I
see.
grew up in Germany.
Excellent. And what happened? What was the turning point for you to leave that lifestyle and relocate to Phuket?
I never felt really like home in Germany. Yeah, and so I was always looking a lot, traveling, backpacking, and yeah, try to figure out where's my right place I belong to. And the first time when I came to Thailand, it was Koh Samui, and it was beginning of the 90s, very early and everything very basic. And just after 1 hour driving with a bus to the hotel, I said, it's home. I feel like home. Yeah. And yeah, that became more and more stronger within the holidays. I say, wow, that's somehow my country.
So it was more the appeal and the pull of the location than anything that actually happened in your life which made you shift?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Germany, I never felt well. With the people, with the
Yeah,
politics, yeah,
okay.
with all the rules and laws. And no.
I mean, I know it's obviously a while ago now then, but when you first got here, what were your first impressions? And the point of this question is more your expectations against reality. If you were expecting it to be all sunsets and beaches, but it perhaps it wasn't. I don't know.
The first impressions from holiday, it was like easy living, easy lifestyle, everything relaxed. Yeah. And yeah, the Thai people are very nice. I really love the food. I can eat a lot spicy food, so no
Yeah.
problem at all. Um, and yeah, that was the main point. The lifestyle here. Yeah, this easygoing way. Yeah. Yeah, living here, I knew it will be a different story than being for holidays here. And since the 90s until I moved, I was every year here, once or twice for holiday and longer times also. And I knew, okay, I will move to here. Yeah. And from my expectations, it met what I thought. Yeah, from doing business, and yeah, that was a different story. Yeah, from the living side here, that was totally the same like holiday. Yeah, because nothing changing. Yeah, but doing business here, that was a lot harder than I thought.
Okay. So can you tell me what your day to day looks like? What's your average day?
My average day waking up, looking for the dogs if they are all okay. Yeah, introduce my team, what to do that day, what's waiting for us, what dog coming, going, and these things. A lot of office stuff, of course, for all this.
Is this 7 days a week or?
Yes, 16 hours per day.
Okay. So can you tell me what has worked well for you since moving to Phuket compared to your life perhaps in Germany? When being here, what has really worked for you?
What's a lot better from the health side? Yeah, Germany is a climate. We have many months cold and rain. Yeah, And because I have some problem with asthma, yes, that's no climate for me. I was always sick from September until May.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I moved to here, it was completely gone. Yeah, because it's not cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also with the diet, the Thai food, yeah, it's a lot better than the heavy, fatty German meals. Yeah. And yeah, so my overall health, it's a lot better.
So that's worked for you. Can you tell me perhaps what hasn't worked quite so well, if there's anything?
Yeah, I have to deal with, because of my job, with a lot of officials. Yeah, and that can be really, really difficult. Yeah, because especially for my business, there is no specific setup how you have to run a company like that. Yeah, and so every year the officer, yeah, at the government, they're changing. And everyone set up new rules like they want. Yes, that's the hardest thing I have to deal with because everyone wants something different.
Okay, but so what is the major upside of living here though for you?
The upside is still the lifestyle that I can go to the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have it in Germany. Yeah, no matter which day, even in the rainy season, you can enjoy it. Yeah. In Germany, I had to cook every day. Yeah, because you cannot afford to go outside to a restaurant. It's just too expensive. Yeah, here for just few baht, you get a proper meal.
Yes.
Yeah, and also I'm a night person from all my life. Yeah, and so I'm really happy that I can go out at night 2, 3 o'clock and can get a proper meal and not just Burger King or
Yeah, that's
McDonald's.
true. And any sort of frustrations for you with living here?
Not really.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have it everywhere.
true.
Yeah, you have troubles with your landlord, for example, that they don't want to fix things that they need to. Yeah. Um, Really frustrating is the traffic on Phuket.
There we go.
Meanwhile, yeah, when I moved to here, there was no traffic jam at all. Yeah, now you need 2 hours to the south. That's frustrating because that takes your time. Yeah.
So, if you were to give a piece of advice to somebody that's thinking about relocating to Phuket, given your many years of experience of being here, what would be the key piece of advice you'd give to somebody?
Get the more or the most informations you can get. Yeah. What's any possible about visa rules, running business, yeah, and not just listen to other, just go and easy. It isn't. Yeah.
Do your research thoroughly.
Yes, a lot. I had around half year. Yeah, I really went into it for moving here. Yeah, and did a lot of research for it. So I didn't had any bad surprises. Yeah, when I set up the company. But I know from others, they just come here, say, "Hey, let's set up a company."
No,
And
it's not that
I need
straightforward.
some money. I need the four Thai staff to have my work permit and these things. Yeah, and many people from Europe who know me, they come to us, visit us, and also looking how is it to set up business here. And I
Yes.
give them some
And it's very,
advice.
very pertinent at the moment because there is a clampdown on like so-called nominee companies, which are
Yes.
companies that set up for convenience for like a work permit for a long stay when you're not actually working,
Yes.
or for the company set up to buy a house when that's all it does. And they are clamping down on that. And that just means that even if that's not what you're using your company for, if you don't set your company up properly, when scrutiny comes, it can be very difficult.
Yes.
So
I
when you set your company up or your day-to-day running of your company, do you do it yourself or do you use a lawyer?
I
What's your
had a law. I had an international law office who did it for me. Makes it a lot easier with everything.
Was it expensive?
Oh, I don't know. It's so long time ago.
Okay, but all right, but your annual cost at the moment, what does it cost for you every year to run your business in terms of accountancy and
180,000 baht.
yeah, okay.
200, I would say.
Yeah.
Roundabout. Yeah, it
Not
decreased
too much,
now
but
a little bit.
not a trivial amount either. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so Who do you think would come here and do what you're doing and fit in well, the type of person, and what sort of person would really struggle?
Uh, yes, the people like Blue Eyes coming here. Yeah, with no doubt of, no clue of anything, and just starting and let's see how it goes with our visa, go for visa run, and they're not coming back. They're just not prepared. Yeah. And so same when I moved to here, I did a lot of research with people living here already, also to figure out what stuff to bring from home. What can I keep at home? What makes sense to bring? Um, but even with that, it wasn't going a lot wrong. Yeah, because everyone told me, all electric equipment, you can buy it here. It's easy and cheap. And yes, I really hated that I didn't bring it. Yeah, I really missing all my really well-running washing machines and clothes dryers and
Yeah,
freezers and
that's a tricky
stuff.
one. That we brought a lot of stuff up from Singapore because that's obviously a lot closer, but we were paying for storage, so we thought we might as well bring it up to Phuket. But we had to do it within the first 12 months of our getting our permanent resident visas, you know, like whether it was work permit or retirement or whatever, because after that time you have to pay the tax on it. But even then, you can't bring in 6 televisions. You're only allowed one
No,
TV.
only for a normal private
Yeah, yeah.
household. Yeah, I had some stuff I brought with me. It was around 8 cubic. Yeah, I didn't pay any taxes. Yeah, because that time I had my work permit
Yes,
already
yeah.
and my business visa, and so no problem
But
at
this is the
all.
sort of thing that anyone thinking about
Yes.
coming here needs to remember is that you can't just bring your stuff at any time. You have to
No.
do it within a certain period of time, otherwise you'll get hit with tax.
Yes.
And even if you do it within the correct period of time, there are still limitations. Like, for example, you can't bring in 5 televisions. They will question that. Even if your house back in Germany had, say, 3 bedrooms and 2 TVs downstairs, if you suddenly rock up with 5 big
Usual things,
TVs,
that's
they
fine.
would question it.
Well,
What do people underestimate about Phuket and Thailand?
what I guess sometimes it could be the climate. Yeah, for holidays it's nice. Yeah, but you need to live with it with high temperatures 365 years. Yeah, that was one reason for my daughter. Yeah, she moved a few years back to Germany. She was living with me here before, and she really enjoys the climate change. Yeah, and she was sick of it here. Yeah, she said it's hot and hot.
It's hot, hot, wet, and hot. Yeah.
Yeah, these 2 seasons, not more. Yeah, and I know a lot of people suffering with it. They say, "Wow, no, I cannot manage it."
See, personally,
Yeah.
I like the basically the 1 year long season. I found when I was in Europe that the seasons seemed to me to be speeding up, especially as I got older. You know, there'd be summer, zoom, 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 winter, so Christmas, summer, summer, and it was obvious to me that time was passing quite relatively quickly because of the seasons. Here, when I was in Singapore or again up in Phuket, the weather, the seasons don't really remind you that much. Okay, the wet season comes around, but that's like a once a year thing. You don't get it on a
And
quarterly
it's not
basis.
so much
So
difference from the
yeah,
temperature.
and I prefer I must personally I prefer that. Okay. And so Diana, you mentioned that your daughter was with you when you came here. And what did you do regarding things like schooling or anything like that? Were there any problems or issues?
Yes, she was on an international school here.
Okay.
And when she started with 11 years, the price was still affordable. But with the years, it becomes more and more and more expensive. Yeah, and that money you have to earn first, of course. Yeah, and all the side expenses of it. And for her, it was a big problem when she moved back because she was fluent in English, yeah, native English. She was fluent in Thai, but she nearly forgot her German. Yeah, and all the lessons like math, biology, physics, chemistry, yes, that's all in English. And so she came back to school in German and had to learn all the German words for her. again new. That was very difficult at the
But
beginning.
why did she go back to Germany? Was that a choice?
The school was very expensive at the end, and she was in the age where she would need to go to study, and I would have to send her to Bangkok. Yeah, so she need an apartment in Bangkok. International university, too much. In Germany, it's all free. Yeah. And her dad was just, or is still living in Germany.
So
I
the-
came here as a single mom. Yeah.
So the lesson here really is that the education system is fine, although expensive. But
very
if you're
good,
coming
yes.
from a background which isn't primarily English, because that is the second language of
Yes.
the education here. If you were to go back to say France or Spain or Germany or anywhere where Greece, you are going to be disconnected from the child's going to be disconnected from the language. That's an interesting point.
Yes, and also the lifestyle here is different. Yeah, and then you have to adapt again after so many years. That somehow can be,
Where did she go back to in Germany? Was it a city?
yeah, near Heidelberg.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
but
city life compared.
countryside.
Yeah, okay. But it's still a completely different cultural shock, I'd imagine.
Yes, completely different. Also from the learning style.
Yeah.
Yeah, here they work in teams and groups and work out everything together. In Germany, mostly it's like sit, learn. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, the classes are a lot bigger. Here it's around 12, 16 pupils maximum.
Would you have done anything different, or would you have liked to have been a little bit more prepared so that you could have avoided some problems with this?
No, I wouldn't say no. If someone moving here, think about the increasing school fees. Yeah, that's really main point. Yeah, and when I moved to here at the beginning, it was lower, and they increased it a lot while we were here already. Yeah, that's difficult to get prepared for. Yeah, and I didn't want to send her to another school where I felt not well. And yes, that's something many people forget to consider the school fees here when they're moving with childs. Or they coming, say, oh, my child is now small, has a bit money for the kindergarten, that's not that bad. Yeah, but if you want to stay longer here and spend the rest of your life, you have to think about it 5, 10 years in advance.
So, what's next for you? I mean, you're obviously here long term, so I imagine if I ask you what you're going to be doing in 12 months' time, it would be the same in 5 years' time, or do you have a long term plan?
Now there will be some changes. Before COVID times, I wanted to open a branch in Kaolack. Yeah, but then COVID came. Yeah, so we need all the savings for the COVID that times that we could survive it somehow. And I got land in Phang Nga meanwhile, not far from Sarasin Bridge, around 20 minutes drive just. And we are building up right now production for dog food over there. Because
Interesting.
we produce bar food also and dehydrated snacks, and we have not enough space here in Phuket. And the price is raising up, yeah, and so we moved that to Phang Nga, and that will be done within the next month, and next year move all food production to Phang Nga.
So you're moving your production up to Phang Nga where there's more space and it's less expensive, but you're keeping your operation still here in Phuket.
The dog hotel will stay here. Yeah, only the food production will move to Phang Nga, and we will do also organic farming there for our dog food, for the veggies and the fruits.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, I'll make sure I put a link to all this in the
Yeah,
description.
I did it in Germany already, some organic farming, and I grew all my herbs and things for health treatment, and that I want to go back and do that again.
That's excellent. So, Diane, you mentioned this organic dog food as part of your business empire
Yeah.
expanding here. If I wanted to find it, what's the name of the business?
The business name is Natural Dog Food by Phuket Dog Resort.
That's a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah, we are creating at the moment a new logo for it when we're moving, and a new brand name, and yeah, that will come up.
Well, I'll put a link in the description anyway, so when you finally figure out the names, people will still be able to
At
find
the
it.
moment, just the natural dog food.
All right, so the last question, or one of the last questions I always ask is, what haven't I asked you? If you wanted to say something to somebody who is interested in Phuket or life changes, or anything you like, what would you say? What questions should I ask you? Or have you got any specific piece of advice you'd like to give somebody?
Yeah, do your research. Yeah. And yeah, also for like cultural things. Yeah. Many somehow don't follow it. Don't go with flip-flop in official stores, yeah, or government places. And yeah, to follow the culture a bit. Don't
Yeah,
try to bring your home here. Yeah, that doesn't work.
no, that's very true. I mean, one of the things that I've seen coming through on a fairly regular basis with these conversations is the word respect.
Yeah.
It goes both ways, but basically,
Yes.
as a guest in someone else's country, you need to be respectful, and that is understanding their point of view or their culture or their or whatever it is, and that just takes a little bit of work. So I agree with you that you really should put in the effort
Yes.
beforehand to find out how things work. Well, Diana, thank you very much for coming in. I think that was excellent. So if you enjoyed that and you'd like to see more, please do subscribe. It will help the channel grow. I'll see you in the next one.